Hi, my name's Aroha. The last time I tried to do roller pose, it didn't really work, so I'm going to try doing it again. 1, 2, 3, go. This is awesome! Woo! Ow! Whoa! Oh, this is awesome!
In October 2016, we were getting ready to go out to an event, and I remember brushing Aroha's hair, and I noticed a couple of spots, bald spots. And I thought to myself, oh, she shaved her head. But I realised after having looked closer that it was completely bare, like no hair at all. And so I knew something wasn't quite right. I remember talking to my mum about what I had found, and she had mentioned alopecia, which I'd never heard of before. So I went to Google to see what it was, and I just remember my heart sinking.
My mum took us to the local doctor, and he officially diagnosed me with alopecia, which is when the good germs in your body think that there's something wrong going on, so then they attack the hair follicles. And he said that there was no cure.
I just remember sitting there with Aroha, who was 8 years old at the time, seeing her face drop and her heart just break. I remember feeling fearful for Aroha and her well-being and her mental health, because I know from my own experience and my own story how powerful words are, and how those words take root in our mind and have effect on how we perceive ourselves. And I didn't want her to have negative words spoken over her to the point where they impact her mental health, or her feeling like she's not normal, or that she doesn't fit in with the other kids at school.
I was definitely scared, and I felt not normal, because we would go to the playground quite often and all the kids would stare at me, they'd be pointing. Some of them would be giggling and chatting amongst each other, and I sort of just felt like that was what it was going to be like for the rest of my life.
I would just cry out to God and say, okay, God, if this is the journey that she's to travel, then I have complete faith and trust that you're going to protect her emotionally and physically from any bullying or any image issues or anything like that. I remember Aroha crying when I mentioned that we needed to shave her head in order for regrowth. And I held her in my arms and I looked at her and I said, Aroha, I'll shave my hair when you shave your hair, and we can do this when you're ready. And she looked at me through her teary eyes and she said, you'd do that for me? And I said, of course I'd do that for you. And I said to her, it's not our hair that defines us. It's not our hair that makes us beautiful. It's the God that's within us that shines out that makes us beautiful. And so in March of 2017, both her and I sat out on our deck. Our really good close friend came and shaved both our heads. And it wasn't a time for mourning, it wasn't sadness. It actually was a really fun and happy occasion.
Can I come? No, that looks cool like that.
Think you look as cool as Mum, Aroha? Much cooler, I see.
When I went back to school, we were having a reading class with my teacher. She hadn't seen me without my buff on, so I had spontaneously just taken it off, and she got a big fright and then hugged me, and it felt like it was a really nice hug. Yeah, and then after that, I didn't wear my buff again. I realised that I didn't need it.
And I remember one time when we were giving her the option to have a wig, and I said to her, you know, if you want a wig, we can get you a wig. And she turned and she looked at me in the eye and she said, no thanks, Mum, I'm comfortable in my own skin.
Well, there's one verse that God has given me. It's Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. For me, I've actually used that verse when I first got alopecia, because I didn't know what was going to happen, but God knew the plan. God knew that I was going to be okay. And he never lets us go through anything that we can't handle.
Even though Aroha has this condition, alopecia, she doesn't let it define her. In fact, she has so much freedom from just understanding who she is, having confidence in who she is. And the freedom that she oozes encourages me to live a life of freedom, to not live a life bound behind the brick wall that I've created, but to smash that wall down and to be able to walk my life in freedom and in confidence, just the way that she does.
I feel very proud of myself that I'm actually influencing someone who is a lot older than me, who is my mom, which is, that's really cool. I don't know, I just feel really great, feel really proud of myself. It makes me want to be even more me.